Hi everyone, today's video is a piece of fan art, obviously inspired by the new Zelda game, Breath of the Wild, and I am so excited for this game, you have no idea. Oh, my headphones fell off. I am a really big Zelda fan. Some of you may already know that because I've got some other Zelda fan art pieces on my channel, and I am so excited for Breath of the Wild. It looks incredible. It looks so different to everything that's come before it, but the style of it is so Zelda and it's so beautiful. And we've just had Zelda revealed to us and she's so cute and I really like her big eyebrows. So yeah, I actually started drawing a big Breath of the Wild landscape piece, but I really didn't enjoy it and I couldn't finish it. Because I struggle with landscapes, as some of you know, so that's the thing that I'm trying to improve this year, but I got so frustrated with it that I ended up just thinking, you know what, I'm going to draw Zelda just herself. And someone suggested doing hydrangeas in the background for her, which is a really cute idea. And if you're confused about the footage around, this was from a live stream originally. I didn't plan to do this, so obviously I didn't set it up as a video. I just live streamed and then I just grabbed the footage because I live stream Mondays, Wednesdays and Saturdays, so if you're watching this just after I've uploaded it, I'm actually live streaming tonight. So I wanted to talk a little bit about watercolour painting and watercolour tips, but I'm going to save that until I have footage later on that shows a bit of an up close of me applying paint in the techniques that I use. So I'm using my Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolours and Winsor & Newton Professionals as well. I have a mix of them in the same palette, and the paper is fluid 6x8 cold press, which is my favourite, and it's gummed on two edges so it stays stretched and pretty rigid, so it's really good. And this painting is for sale. A lot of people have asked. It got a lot of attention on Twitter. If you don't follow my Twitter, go and check it out. I'm on there quite frequently and you can always tweet at me. But yeah, so I got a lot of attention for it on Twitter and a lot of people have asked if I'm selling it, and yes I am. She's in my online store now if you're listening to this. And there will be prints of her. I'm also going to do limited edition prints of her as well, so go and check those out. And yeah, so talking about my watercolour technique for the flowers in particular, you saw me using a spray bottle, and I like to also spray my paintings to get the paper slightly wet but not soaked, because if it's too soaked, obviously you're going to have a problem. But I lay down water in the places that I want to paint, and then I mix colours and I take tiny bits of colours off the half pans. I take such a tiny amount of paint. If I've taken too much, I just rub it on the palette, and I just add it in different places. So I am using things like ultramarine, cobalt blue, cerulean, cobalt turquoise light, gosh, all the blues, indigo, there's a bit of indigo in there. I can't remember all my blues. There's a lot in that palette, a lot. And yeah, so like you see, I apply the water and then I apply the paint on top and allow it to mix while it's in the water. You can then add more water on top to get it flowing, and it kind of creates almost like a small mask. If you're very gentle with it, it will create a mask of where the paint goes, and a lot of people use this technique. I am still teaching myself watercolour, but I'm just kind of, you know, picking up things from what I see in other videos and also just experimenting myself. So yeah, I think we go to a close-up shot very soon. So I've forgotten what I was going to say. Damn it. I also use my Finetex on this piece actually. They are so wonderful. Oh my gosh, if you want to hear me blabbing on about those, then you can see them in my lapis lazuli video. and they just really make the whole thing just come to life at the end, and you'll see that. And there's also a GIF on my Tumblr if you want to go and watch it in action. Yeah, so here's the footage that I mentioned. So I apply the water and just sort of dampen it, and you notice I completely use my dirty water because I've been using blues, so that gives it a sort of a hue already on the paper. So I just put a tiny bit on, just tap it on and push it in any sort of space, and then apply a different colour and sort of let them meet. You don't have to make everything fully opaque. Watercolours are a very transparent medium, so don't try and push it to make a really, really opaque painting. It's not that kind of media. If you want something like that, you want to look at like oils or acrylics or something like that. So I just pick up different blues and put them down and let them spread, and there's a beauty to watercolour that you just kind of let it do what it wants, but you can also control it. That's probably down to the paper and also the fact that they flow so well with water, and it's hard to control water. So, and also don't be afraid to just leave like little white areas. They can sometimes make colours pop a little bit more, and it adds to the whole like illusion and to the style of watercolour, because you get that wet edge that is really, really nice. You know how much I like that. So yeah, you could just add water, lots of watered down paint, especially if you're using tubes. I find the pigments are a lot stronger on tubes, so water it down as much in your palette, and then just pick up from your palette, or pick up tiny amounts from the half pans themselves, and just kind of let the watercolours do their own thing. That's something that I really like about this medium. It's once you really get into it, you can make it as effortless or have as much effort shown as possible. And I'm going to be doing a watercolour tutorial very soon, so stay tuned for that. I haven't felt up to doing one because I still consider myself a novice, but I'm going to show you my own techniques rather than this is what you must do for watercolours. So I'm just finishing off the hydrangeas, and I get onto the gold paint soon, which is the best part. Another beautiful thing about watercolours is once you've put the colour down, if you take a paper towel like I've got there, you can quickly siphon it off. Just quickly place the paper towel and soak it off, and it will probably still leave some colour if it's a dark colour, but you can quite easily remedy watercolour if it doesn't dry in time. So here's my fine techs. As usual, you've got to soak them thoroughly before they become active, and they do run quite dry. They do dry out very quickly, and I've mentioned this previously, and it's just a completely different way of using paint. You've got to use your watercolours and then use your fine techs. It's a bit tricky to get used to the hang of both of them at the same time, so yeah, just always experiment with whatever paints you've got. And you've got to have gold paint on a Zelda painting, correct? It's all about that gold. You've got the Triforce, you've got like the Hylian crest, and it's just such a staple colour of the overall game. I've got the Majora's Mask 3DS XL, and I have the Ocarina of Time 3DS, and they're both like gold and black, and they're so good. I love Zelda so much. It's actually my favourite game series of all time, and in my upcoming workspace tour, which is coming out in a couple of days, you will see my Zelda collection, so I hope you're all excited for that, as well as my art supplies. Don't worry, it's my entire room tour, and it's taking me a long time to edit, and it's about an hour and a half long. And I kind of like slowly descended into madness last night editing it. It was great. That's just YouTuber life, guys. So, you know, if you want to become a YouTuber, you gotta know that you gotta edit as well, unless you pay someone to edit, in which case, you know, that's awesome. And I envy you greatly. So I'm just finishing off here, and I had a bit of a sort of, I wanted to give it a sort of a drop shadow in the gold. I think I just wanted to use the gold paint a bit more, let's be real. And you get to see the reflection any second now. There we go. Oh my gosh, I love this paint so much. I'm just like, bury me in fine tech. They've done a really good job to get it this shiny. It's stunning. And yeah, so the original's for sale in my online store. Go and check it out if you want a print of the original painting. And thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoy Breath of the Wild when it comes out, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.